In this video I want to derive the angle sum formula for the sine function. To get there I'm going to use the angle difference for the cosine and then this cofunction identity. I'd also like the other cofunction identity, namely sine pi over 2 minus theta is equal to cosine theta. So let's derive this formula rather quickly. Sine of pi over 2 minus theta, if I use this formula here where the theta is pi over 2 minus theta, then I'm going to get cosine pi over 2 minus this angle. And if I simplify this argument, distributing this negative 1, I get pi over 2 minus pi over 2, which is 0. So I'm just left with a negative 1 times negative theta, which is cosine of theta. So here I have the cofunction identities for the sine and cosine. And using these along with the difference formula, I can get the angle sum for the sine. So that formula, the sine of u plus v is the sine of u cosine v plus cosine of u times the sine of v. So let's see how we get this formula using the three that are above it. The clever step is to take the sine of u plus v and rewrite it using this cofunction identity here. This is the cosine of pi over 2 minus u plus v. And then I'm going to manipulate this argument a little bit. I can distribute that negative 1 to get pi over 2 minus u minus v. And I'm going to use my difference formula, but the grouping that I'm going to use is the angle pi over 2 minus u minus the angle v. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this difference formula to this angle difference here. So this is cosine of pi over 2 minus u cosine v plus the sine of pi over 2 minus u times the sine of v. Okay. And now I'm almost home. I just want to change this into the sine and change this expression into the cosine. And I can do that because of the cofunction identities that we have up top. So this is sine of u cosine v plus cosine of u times the sine of v. And we could get the angle difference formula for the sine by playing a similar trick that we did with the cosine in the previous video. And so we see that most of these formulas are really just coming from the angle difference formula for the cosine.